Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel, where everything you are about to hear and see has been done in one take. I am your host, the One Take Man. As the title of this video already gave away, today I'll be doing the Anything But Books tag. I already did the booktube newbie tag on my main channel, so go ahead and look at that if you will. But for now I'll be looking at this tag and the questions within it, and answering them. And as in the past video, not past, other video, I'll be reading the questions off of my tablet, because I'm a fancy boy. So, let's get started. Question 1 is not actually a question. Name a cartoon that you love. Well, the first thing that comes to mind is it doesn't specify if it means cartoon character or cartoon series. So I'm gonna answer for both. As for a cartoon character, the first answer that comes to mind is Bugs Bunny, because really, he's just funny. He has these crazy outlandish antics, and he's charming and really charismatic, and I find the stuff he does to be quite endearing, in a way. My favorite series, favorite cartoon series, I'm gonna say Avatar: The Last Airbender. I won't say why. There are plenty of other YouTubers who have entire channels dedicated to why it is as good as it is. For me, and from that series itself, the characters I find myself gravitating towards the most are Katara and Mai. Make of that what you will. Question 2, an actual question this time. What's your favorite song right now? My favorite song right now is The Reckoning by Within Temptation featuring Jacoby Shaddix. It has a pretty slow build-up, but then it hits you with just a wall of sound and fury and hype, and it's just so engaging and makes you want to stick around. And then when the lyrics actually come around and the rest of the structure of the song, it's like the hooks it sunk into you, you now want them into you. Because it is, the content of the lyrics is very good, the way they are spoken, the way they are written is very good, the way they are placed within the song itself is also amazing. Everything that needs to be said and needs to be made loud is made loud when and exactly how it needs to be made loud. Like, I'm not gonna say it's a culmination of their evolution as artists, but it is an excellent display, an excellent showcase of what good music is, or at least what I find good music to be. Question 3. What could you do for hours? Because this is the third question, I have 3 answers for this. Number 1 is hiking. If you put me on a mountain trail and show me what symbol to follow, I can go down that path from sunrise to sunset. I will occasionally break because, I have to eat once in a while. But otherwise, yeah, I can just walk and walk and walk for a long time. The second answer is traveling by bike. I enjoy traveling by bike quite a lot. Within my city, I travel only by bike. And I once traveled from my city to another. It took me by bicycle. It was 63 kilometers, or 39 miles away for US viewers. It took me about 3.5 hours, and yeah, I think I'd gladly do it again, if the opportunity were to present itself. The third thing I'll mention is also travel related, but this time travel by train, especially if I'm sitting next to the window, just so I can see the landscape rolling by beside me. It's very soothing and almost meditative, so yeah, these are my answers. Question 4. What is something your followers would be surprised by? Well, there are a lot of things I find would be surprising about me, but then again I want to keep some of them secret so I can keep making more videos. However, there is one thing I can reveal if this button cooperates. Okay, it does. Namely this thing right here. Am I pointing the right way? Yeah, here, this. I got it on from a cycling accident when I was less than half the age I am right now. I was pedaling down a hill that was way too steep, and when that thing was fresh, you could actually see bone. Yeah, really. So yeah, that's one thing. I still haven't given up cycling, but I've been more cautious since. Let's just say that. Question 5. What is your favorite unnecessarily specific thing to learn about? There are two answers here, again. But they are kind of in the same vein, so that should tell you what the full answer is. Namely, for one, I once spent about 3 or 4 hours looking at the Criminal Minds wiki, at all the various killers that they caught, what their afflictions are, what their deeds are, etc. Even though I don't actually follow Criminal Minds all too closely. The second thing I'll mention is back when I was watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer, I also spent a lot of time on various connected websites to find out how character arcs evolve, what the meanings behind various symbols are, how these symbols or how these metaphors are realized in these specific contexts, and that's kind of what my favorite unnecessarily specific thing to research is. Question 6. These questions aren't exactly numbered, so I kind of have to count them up every time. Question 6. What is something unusual you know how to do? I'm not sure how unusual this is, but I've gotten pretty good at cooking. This will seem a bit strange to want to say online, but when I first moved out of my parents' house to go to university, I had the opportunity to move in with someone else, but I wanted to move in by myself because I wanted to see how well I could do independently of my parents' influence, or my grandparents' influence, so to speak. And one of the things I had to look out for was sustenance. Keeping myself fed and whatnot. I started pretty basic with just stuff you could buy from the store and throw in a pan, heat it up, and then serve on a plate. But then as time went by, I was like, hey, wait, what if I try this or this or this? Started just picking up ingredients and mixing them, see what happens. I haven't really gotten to do anything too crazy. All I have is a hot plate, 2 pans, and a pot. But I have gotten to do some pretty interesting things, and it's not just me who says it, it's also the people I've cooked for. My parents have been trying to get me to get a microwave for the longest time, but I've always said no because, for one, I don't know where to put it. For another, it doesn't really open up too many culinary avenues, if you know what I'm saying. I also have a pizza oven somewhere, a compact pizza oven somewhere on my closet, but I've only used it once badly, and I decided, okay, back on the closet with you. I'm not using you again. So yeah, that's my answer. Question 7. Name something you made in the last year. Well, I've started writing my book in the last year. I started by writing out the plot and focusing on the various events I want to have take place during the book, and which chapter they should go into. And then I kept expanding it, and I think I will keep expanding it. Also, I worked on various world building aspects, like what are the countries, what does the university look like, what does the association my characters belong to look like, how is it structured, and I also did some sketches on the most important settings for the of the story. So yeah, that's my thing. Question 8. What is your most recent personal project? Well, my regular job and my writing keeps me pretty busy, so I think the best answer I can give is I've started to create my online presence as an author, and that is actually harder than I found out I initially estimated, because I can't just set aside X amount of hours. I have to really kind of live into my authorial persona in order to make it more genuine and have more of a spread than I am having right now. I will get to it eventually. Just takes a little bit of time, a little bit of getting used to. But yeah, that is my most recent personal project right now. Question 9. What is something you think about often? This will sound way more generic and doomer than it needs to be, but the current state of the world. I keep up with philosophy, I keep up with politics, I also keep up with the news. And I don't just mean, and I mean that not just the current day-to-day happenings, because I miss those a lot, but I look more into the motivations. What makes people say this and that will happen if this or that other thing happens? And can I follow through on that? Can I see that actually happening in the world as it is presented? So, yeah, that is one thing I keep up with, or at least think about a lot. And also how to improve the current state of the world. So it's not just doomer, it's not just... So I try to keep my mindset mostly optimistic, mostly positive. Don't just think, oh, everything is bad, everything is messed up. I also try to at least think and implement as much as I can. Okay, what are the improvements we can make, and how can we turn the situation around so that more people benefit from it rather than are hindered by the current state of the world. Yeah, that's me going way too serious for a bit. And finally, question 10, another question that's not actually a question, something that's your favorite. Well, luckily I have it right here. It's a pocket watch. It's my favorite thing I bought for myself. I bought it when I got my first salary, but it's not bought from my first salary. I just happened to have some pocket money on me, and I decided to use the pocket money to buy a pocket watch. It's a mechanical pocket watch, and you kind of need to wind it a ridiculously high number of times in order to have it be an effective timekeeping device. Like, seriously, my cell phone and my laptop are the things I use overwhelmingly for that purpose. But I like having it around as a mechanical pet, as it were. So yeah, that's my answer to that. And that's it with all the questions too. So I hope you enjoyed it, and if not, then thanks anyway for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Hopefully you'll like whatever the next thing is. Bye.